going to get started now. I want to welcome everybody to our April Solidarity session. I appreciate you all being on. We're going to start the meeting as we usually do, asking each person to introduce themselves and if they represent an organization, the organization that they're representing. If you're just an individual, that's okay too. And then I'm going to go to our guest speaker. Our guest speaker has a little bit of a time constraint, so we're going to ask everybody to kind of make their names known very quickly so we can go around. I'm going to call you out on the way I see you on my screen. It may not be like on your screen, and it's no particular order. Okay, so I'm going to start off up in my left corner with Anthony Benjavenga. Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh, I'm Anthony Benjavenga. I'm immediate past president of Unico National, member of the Westfield, New Jersey chapter, and I'm also board member of Italian American One Voice Coalition.
Thank you, Jim Benassi.
Jim Benassi, I'm the president of the Italian American Association of Louisville, Kentucky.
Thank you, Frank Lorenzo.
Back and right on if I need it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Frank Lorenzo, Vice President, Italian American One Voice Coalition. Glad to be here tonight.
Thank you, Rich Esposito.
Hi, everyone. Rich Esposito from Greater Westfield, Unico.
Thank you, Miriam. You're up.
Hello, this is Miriam from Greater Westfield.
Yeah, we're getting that feedback again. Bob Tart.
I'm a member of Unico National. I'm a trustee of the Unico Foundation. I'm also a board member of Italian American One Voice.
Thank you. Vicky, you're up.
Vicky Maragliata from Monmouth County, New Jersey, past president of Sons and Daughters of Italy, and Monmouth County Lodge, and a member of One Voice Coalition.
Thank you. I have a new visitor tonight, Roberto. Go ahead, Roberto.
Thank you. Roberto Ferragina. I'm an executive board member and former president of the Amerigo Vespucci Society, and I'm also based in Monmouth County, New Jersey as well.
Very good.
Hi, Roberto.
Angelo Caputo, the chair of anti-defamation of the Long Island Society of Italian Americans, headquartered on Long Island, New York.
Thank you. Jim Scanelli.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Jim Scanelli, past chapter president, Montville Unico. I'm on the board of directors of Italian American One Voice Coalition, and I'm a member of NAGA.
Thank you. Tony Santarelli.
I'm vice president of the Italian American One Voice Coalition.
Thank you. Dr. Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary Kovac. I am the vice president of the Commission for Social Justice, which is under the Order of Sons and Daughters of Italy in America.
And Dr. Mary, did you want to just introduce your guest tonight?
I'm not sure who it is, actually.
Yeah,
I was just
Daniel, if you can unmute and so Mary knows who you are.
Hey, everyone.
I was just told there was a guest, so I apologize.
Okay. Yes, I think you're talking about me.
Yes, sir.
My colleague, Michael Peppel, wasn't able to join tonight, but my name is Daniel Fuenzalida. Apologies if it's not coming up correctly. I am on my cell phone right now. My name is Daniel Fuenzalida, and I work for Congressman Michael Rulli. He is the chair of the Italian American Congressional Delegation in Congress. Really excited to be here. Thank you, guys.
Well,
Thanks for joining us.
We're happy that you're here. Dr. Mary told me that someone's going to be on from Congressman Rulli's office, and we've spoken about Congressman Rulli many, many times for his leadership on a number of issues. So please extend to him our thanks for the things that he's been doing.
I certainly will, and we appreciate it deeply. This is one of the issues that he's most passionate about, and on the back end, we work with the embassy pretty regularly. So I appreciate all you guys, and thank you so much for the support.
Great, welcome, Daniel.
Thank you.
What, Andre, what state does he represent?
Yes, Michael Rulli. He is the congressman for the Ohio 6th District. It's the border of Pennsylvania, and we also border West Virginia, right near Pittsburgh. Youngstown is in our district, as well as Marietta.
Thank you. Dr. Ann?
Hi, Ann Walco. I'm a board member of One Voice and past president of Unico National.
Great.
Welcome, everybody.
Thank you. Tara, you're up.
Hi, I'm Easton chapter of Unico out of Pennsylvania, and we're members of Italian American One Voice Coalition. and I personally joined NAGA, but I haven't received a application to join again. So I don't know if I'm a permanent member. I'm waiting on that.
Okay, we'll clear that up. No problem.
Okay.
Kevin Smith? Kevin, you there? You're muted. Okay. Tommy, you're up.
Yeah, Tony Gamagella, Vice President of the Italian American Alliance, and of course, member of the Copa Mayo, and always very happy to be with our friends from NAGA and everybody else in this call.
Thanks, Tommy. For those of you that are on the telephone, we can't see you, so I'm not going to have you introduce, but we're going to go to our guest speaker now. And our guest speaker is going to start, as I told everybody, she's the president of NAGA, and she has somebody else from NAGA, another officer on as well. So I'm going to let Becky introduce the other person on NAGA, who actually I know very well. So
Yes, yes. Hi, Andre. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here tonight. So I don't know how many of you get into college sports, but I have my son plays college football for Louisiana State University down in Baton Rouge, and he's a freshman. So the freshman moms have set our weekly meeting with the team pastor for Tuesdays at 7:30. So I told Andre, I said it's kind of important for me right now with my son, brand new down to LSU, for me to be on those phone calls. So I apologize. I'm going to have to leave at 7:30, but I've got all kinds of great information to share with you. And I'm leaving you in awesome hands with my very trusty Vice President, David Finkenbinder. And, hey, Finky, you want to say hello to everybody? I saw that you were on.
Yes, good evening, everybody. David Finkenbinder, Vice President of NAGA, and my Indian name is Brave Eagle, Juan Bliohitica.
Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to be reading off of my phone because I have a series of things I wanted to update everybody on that the Native American Guardians Association's involved with right now, and there's a lot. So tomorrow on our Facebook page will be a release that's talking about our big lawsuit with Massapequa. That's kind of always the top news of what we have to share. It was about a month ago, Andre, that we had Chap Peterson on.
yes,
Okay.
2 months ago. 2 months ago.
Okay, yeah, he's the NAGA attorney. Once you meet him, you'll never forget the guy. He's amazing. So this is what's going to get announced tomorrow. NAGA has filed a 40-page reply brief with the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. We're pleased to announce that the Native American Guardians Association and their Vice President, David Finkenbinder, have officially filed our comprehensive 40-page reply brief with the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. It's a detailed brief, and it's, like I said, it's very long. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it very clearly outlines our case against the New York State Board of Regents' discriminatory ban on Native American imagery in schools. We've presented strong constitutional arguments demonstrating how this law that the state of New York has put out there violates the 14th Amendment's guarantee of equal protection under the law. Our path forward, while we anticipate that this appeal will be dismissed at the Second Circuit level, this is simply our next step because we anticipate they will dismiss it, and then we will be going to the Supreme Court. It's our only logical finish line for this case. So it is very exciting. We've been talking about this for months, and now we feel like we're just one step closer. When we reach the Supreme Court, we're confident we will prevail and strike down these offensive and plainly unconstitutional laws. So Chap Peterson, again, who is the NAGA attorney, he has said the native name ban laws are offensive and plainly unconstitutional. Their very existence is an embarrassment to all Americans as well as the Native community. So if you're on the NAGA Facebook page, you will see what I just read, and then I have just screenshot. You can't really see it. It's the front page of Chap Peterson's brief. So we're really excited about this for NAGA. I'm going to go on to the second item on what I wanted to update everybody on. I don't know who follows the Washington Commanders. They used to be the Washington Redskins. They became the Commanders. And most recently, the Washington Commanders came out with a new logo, and it is their W, and it has a spear through the W. Its intentions is to be a Native American spear, don't you think, Finky? That's what we think.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh,
Yes, I agree.
okay. So here's what happened. Italian friends, NAGA friends. I got contacted by a reporter. Where was he from? Oh, he's from USA Today. And he shows me the logo as my first time seeing it. And my first response was like, oh my gosh, that's great. I love it. And I just shocked this guy to death. Like, he's like, are you serious? Are you sure? You're the only Native American group that thinks this is going to be okay. And so, I'm like, well, I've only been president since January. Let me check with the board. So I got on the horn with the rest of the board, and we really, we got united, and we all agreed that, our stance is NAGA is pleased to see the Washington Commanders incorporate a native spear into their new logo design. It's encouraging to have a small piece of native imagery represented again, honoring the deep connection between Native heritage and America's sports tradition. It's how I felt. It's how everyone else on the NAGA board felt. But we kind of got ripped on social media for a few days there. And here's how I feel. I believe that my board feels the same way as I do. Um, in my life, when my life is over, and this is be whether I'm the president of NAGA or not, I would like for people to remember me as being some really positive, optimistic, looking at the big picture and the brighter side of things, rather than a lot of these groups like the NCAI. Oh, there were 3 or 4 Native American groups, a couple I hadn't ever heard of, that were so offended and so angry and so mad. You know, it's kind of what I told this reporter when I contacted him. I'm like, yes, I'm going to stay with my original stance. I spoke with my board. We all feel the same way. We choose to feel honored and like this is a great step in a good direction. I don't want to live my life being angry and ugly and pessimistic. And I think we have too much of that in our world right now. So that's kind of been big in the NAGA world in the last few weeks.
And Becky, if I could just interrupt you, I've seen
Sure.
the Whitecalf family. They have a lot of posts on Facebook and so forth. Of course, the imagery of Chief John Two Guns was the original profile that was for the Redskins. So they said that the spear is a step in the right direction. They would like to see the profile put back, but of course they said at least the spear is in the right direction.
It's a step, it's a positive step. There's nothing wrong with it. And I think when on one of the social platforms, I call it Twitter, but it's X. My quote retweet was it period is period a period spear exclamation mark. It's a spear, like it's I don't know. Again, I get kind of wound up about it, but if anyone's curious, as this is going to, some groups are trying to get the commanders to remove this spear, but I think it's just complete silliness. So, um, item number 3, updating you on what NAGA is doing. So, a few months ago, I was contacted by this gentleman named Greg, and he runs Valmar Films. So he goes around to different groups, and he will do a lot of film work and interviews. He puts together these documentaries, and he said some never make it anywhere, and some become big news. Even some make it into big time theaters. So Chap Peterson is going to be, and hopefully most of the NAGA board will be going out to North Dakota at the end of July. And that's where a lot of you know Eunice Davidson. Uni cannot be on the call tonight because she had a family situation come up. But Uni's tribe, Spirit Lake tribe in North Dakota, they have their powwows at the end of July. So Chap Peterson, our attorney, myself, Uni, who's one of the co-founders, and our board, hopefully will be meeting with this um, filmmaker out on the reservation at the powwows, doing interviews, and our hopes are to put all of these pieces together and have a documentary about the creation and evolution of the Native American Guardians Association. So I'm pretty excited about that. Andre, that might be something that I can let Greg know about the Italian group. He's looking for different groups like yours and ours, just to kind of tell our story and make people aware of who we are, what we do, what we represent. Um, and then the last thing I have on my agenda, make sure. So again, this guy's name is Greg Rabidou, Rabidous. That's going to be something that's going to be coming out. And then the last thing I have, unless David Finkenbinder has more to add on what we're doing, because it feels like we are really doing a lot right now. Hold on, my daughter was calling me. Okay. Again, back with Massapequa. So Massapequa is where this lawsuit all began. But while we're waiting for this lawsuit to run its course, it's taking a lot longer than, I mean, maybe this is normal, how long it's taking. But we have a memorandum of understanding with Massapequa schools to provide them Native American curriculum. And it's something that we will be talking with Massapequa. I'm not even Finkster. Who are we talking to tomorrow from Massapequa? Do you know?
I believe it's Brandy Mann.
Is it
Well, that's who the Zoom meeting was set up by.
okay? I think like their superintendent's office and some of their administration.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Massapequa. So our plan with Massapequa is to go ahead and move forward with our MOU that we have with them and find out how can we as NAGA help provide this education for all of their teachers and staff, all of their students. And so this is going to be our first step of creating a curriculum about Native Americans that a school will put into place, and then we will use that to create curriculum for other schools. So I'm really excited about it. Um, we have Mark Onewolf, who's an ambassador for NAGA. David Finkenbinder and myself will be on this Zoom tomorrow with Massapequa's administration. I believe we're going to offer to go to New York when they have a Teachers Institute and talk about how we want to get this curriculum in the classrooms and make sure that they understand what we want to see happen and that it gets rolled out correctly. Because again, this is the first school that we're going to create a curriculum for, and then we will use it as a template to create curriculum for other schools across the country.
Becky, I don't know if you know this, but Bob DiBiase, who was the chairman of the Italian American Heritage Commission in New Jersey, they've created a curriculum for Italian Americans.
Nice.
It's a comprehensive curriculum. It's excellent. He's going around now, actually going around the country, trying to get that curriculum installed. I'm going to send you the link for that curriculum because it might be a very good guideline for you.
I would love that.
Something like a template. And this was put together by the commission, which was comprised of academics and of Italian Americans and so forth. So I know it's a very well thought out curriculum, and it has been adopted by a number of school systems. So I'll send you the link to that. And anyone else on this call that would like it, it's a very good curriculum, and it's a whole background from the youngest ages up to, high school.
Yeah, I think any help we can get, I know Dr. Mary is on the call because a few months ago, Uni and we were really focused and locked in on creating a nationwide survey. We thought that was our next biggest step, and Mary, Dr. Mary was going to help us with that. And in the meantime, we have found other things that have kind of taken precedence over that. So, um, you know that's why we're all together. I would help any of you with anything that I feel like I have a good grasp on. So if anyone has their ideas for the curriculum, I'll just very briefly um, say what my plans are to present to the Massapequa teachers at their school at their Teachers Institute. And then I'm probably going to have to bounce off the call, but
Sure.
you're in good hands with Mr. Finkenbinder. So um, I think it's going to be powerful to start with a map of the United States of America, just kind of a blanket map. And then I want to show the little pockets of where our reservations are. So I don't care if you're a kindergartner or a senior. I think that's kind of powerful to see of all of the United States, the little pockets of land that the Native Americans actually get to own. Um, and then my thoughts are to talk about just Native American culture in general, because I want this to be something that we can take everywhere. And that will be about 80% of our curriculum, which I think we're looking at doing 5 to 7 videos of us teaching different aspects of our history and culture. And so if they show the videos on, let's say on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it could be covered in a 2-week curriculum. My suggestion is they do it in November because that's Native American Heritage Month. Um, and so 80% of it will be just very general information that will stay the same no matter what school we're at. And then take at least one video that's going to be specific to that state in that area. So my reservation is in Newtown, North Dakota. So what I have done when I speak to schools is then I show a map of the state of North Dakota, and then I show the little red dot that is my tribe, that my reservation is the 3 affiliated tribes, Fort Berthold Reservation. And then I speak specifically about my own heritage because it is specific to North Dakota. In Massapequa, they have their own culture, so we could show the state of New York and show them, the little areas of the state that are Native American land, and then talk about the tribes that are in the state of New York that maybe these kids might have heard about and they don't really know much about them. So it's just in a nutshell what I feel like our curriculum is going to look like. We do have a board member from Colorado. She's my cousin. Carmen is her name, and she has in her previous life written curriculum for schools. So I think she'll be a big piece of helping us with that also. So she joined our board in January. So she's going to be a very valuable piece for NAGA as we move forward with this big step. So that was our lawsuit update, Washington Commanders update. I had updated you on, a documentary that's going to be started about NAGA, and our work is beginning with the curriculum and with the Massapequa schools. So I think that's good. I covered a lot.
Okay, very good. And by the way, there are a lot of Italian Americans in Massapequa. I actually have some family member there, so you might want to mention the fact that we do have this united group between.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I will let them know. Yeah, we're excited to start talking to them tomorrow and starting this relationship with them. And that will just build momentum as our lawsuit continues to build momentum also. So I did the hard part, Finky. You got the question and answer part. And everyone have a great evening, and I'll see you guys at our next meeting.
Okay, Becky, thanks for being on today. Good luck with your son's phone call.
Thank
And
you.
we're happy to get the update. David, we do have one question Tommy Damigella has his hand up, but we'll all say goodbye to Becky now. Take care.
Yeah, I know Becky's got to leave, but everything she's saying just hits home because in Massachusetts, which is an Indian name, as you know, we're dealing with our state flag being changed. And I wanted to show it to David and Becky, but she's gone. And the Native Americans of Massachusetts are fighting to have it removed. And I think it's just, they just perceive it as being something as derogatory towards Native Americans. Can I share my screen just so I can show it to David?
Sure. Hold on. Let me open that up. One second.
Yeah, see the one right here?
Yes.
That's it. That's the Native American. He's a chief from the Wampanoag tribe, I believe, and this is what they're trying to remove from our shield. And people said it's derogatory. It's a half-naked Native American. And they get these, as you can see above it, they have a sword above it, and it's like the sword is held over the Native American. We've had it for over 100 years, and is this something that NAGA would find offensive as a logo if this was in New York and they decided to get rid of this? David, would this be something that you'd fight to keep, or do you find it offensive, or you think this is, again, another overreaction by non-Native Americans who are thinking this is racist of some sort? And unfortunately, the United American Indians of New England are fighting to have it removed too, because they see everything as being anti-Native American, Columbus, etc. So it's so frustrating. I've got you guys on this side, and we got this other problem, and this is what we're fighting up against. We have no support in Massachusetts.
Right. Well, personally, I do not find that offensive. And I do not believe our other board members would find that offensive either. It is ridiculous. Like you said, you got non-natives that are pushing the agenda. And for some reason, you can always find a handful of natives that will want to change things. I don't know if it's because they have, like Becky mentioned, a lot of anger, this is what the non-natives did to me, so they're not going to benefit from using, our heritage from that, which is ridiculous. Let's all get along. Let's move forward.
I always thought that, Massachusetts, like New York, everywhere you go, you see Native American names of our towns, our cities, our schools, even without the symbolism. But just we're using the names is like an acknowledgement. If we really hated Native Americans and Indians, etc., we would have obliterated those names a long time ago and said, let's ban them to the past. We've done just the opposite. I've always felt like we're trying to honor them, and that's why we've named so many things in our area in New England after Native Americans, and half the times we can't pronounce the names besides. I always saw that as being positive. And
exactly. It is an honor.
Yes, that's the way I always looked at it. So, I wonder if there's a way I could connect you to one of these heads of the committee that's dealing with this in Massachusetts, and perhaps if you write to them, they might want to have your support, because we have some elected officials that want to keep that symbol.
Yes, if you can shoot an email or give it to Andre, and he can, give you our email and send it to me or Becky. And if you have, I don't know if you have the NAGA email, Andre, or not. If not, just send it to me and Becky.
Yeah, no, I could send it to you.
Thank you so much, Andre. I thought this was an interesting point I wanted to share with everybody.
Sure, no, very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.
David, just getting back on the lawsuit situation, as you know, when we spoke with Chap Peterson, Frank Lorenzo, who's our vice president, he headed up our legal study group, and Becky mentioned about your case being in for a long time. Our case against West Orange for getting rid of the monument was filed in September of 2020, and we are still here today. We've achieved standing, so ours wasn't thrown out. We achieved standing. They tried to kick it out 3 times already, and we've beaten it all the time. So it's still ongoing. But the point is, David, if there's any point just where we can support you, because the things that you're doing with the 14th Amendment are all the things that Frank Lorenzo researched and put together for our loose lawsuit as well. So they're very much aligned, the 2 lawsuits.
Right. Yep. So yeah, I think it will benefit both of our groups.
Yep. And by the way, the reason I mentioned that, I know David Finkelbinder, because we were both at a Sons of Italy dinner luncheon a little while back, and he accepted the award for NAGA, and I accepted the award for One Voice. So that's why I enjoyed the time sitting together with David, although we had a long drive to come down to that event.
Yes. And then you came up to Albany, New York.
Yep, exactly.
And David, Mark One Wolf he came to our Italian American annual meeting last year as a spokesperson for
Up in
NAGA.
Massachusetts.
So we've had some good exposure, and I know he's going to be on your call tomorrow. Thank him again. Everybody really enjoyed his presentation and
Yes.
gave them an insight that they really haven't had. We need more of that.
Yes. He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions for David?
David, I want to circle back to your curriculum real quick, if you don't
Sure.
mind. So 3 points that I just want to call out just so you're buttoned up. So one, I would look at the accreditation requirements for the district, see if there are any. Odds are you're going to need learning outcomes for each, I'm going to call it module that you discuss or each unit. So you'll want to use something called Bloom's taxonomy, which gives you the right verbs to use to demonstrate depth. So instead of just sharing a video where you teach out, there's going to be like 5 levels. Well, the first one will be teaching out, identifying, listing. Next one might be discussing, and then evaluating, comparing, contrasting, analyzing. There's different levels of depth that you'll want to use at different levels within the school.
Right. Okay. Can you email that to me and Becky?
Sure.
So that's great. Great information. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Doc. Anybody else have any other questions for David?
Let me just make a quick comment.
Sure.
I think what that Native American was wearing on the Massachusetts flag was basically what you might call a buckskin outfit.
Yep, you're right.
And if you think that is totally unique to the flag of the state of Massachusetts, take a look at the flag of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. There's 2 people shaking hands. One of them has a swallowtail coat on, and the other one is basically a fellow, maybe it's Daniel Boone for all I know, and he's wearing a buckskin outfit.
Yep.
So
that
that's
was
what
it.
they wore in that day.
I know.
Exactly.
And ain't nobody going to change it anytime soon.
No, can't erase history.
Oh, they try.
They're trying.
Yeah, they're trying. That's true.
Anybody else have any other comments or questions for David? Okay, just gonna go into a couple of other updates. Jerry Carleo from Colorado, as you know, he's been on the call many times. He couldn't be on tonight due to a family thing, but he did suggest that with the upcoming 250th anniversary of the country, that since what we're doing here with this unity between Italian Americans and Native Americans, he thinks that we should all just think tonight about something that we could do just to be included in that celebration. Because, you know, we are talking about something unique here, combination and the unity among our groups. And so he wanted everybody here to just think about it. And we might discuss it on the next call next month and see if there's something that we could do. We don't know what it is. We haven't discussed anything, but he just thought that should be brought up to see if there's something that we could do as a joint effort between NAGA and the Italian Americans.
Well, you know, interesting. Every city has somebody as commissions that do the 250, and they create these commissions. Has anybody ever called any of your people as Native Americans to participate in a 250 celebration on July 4th? Do they actually are reaching out to the Native Americans to participate in some of their state? I have heard nothing in Massachusetts, now that I think about it. I have no idea if they're involved.
Yeah, David, have you heard anything about that?
I have not.
See, there you go. There's a perfect example.
Yep.
Well, they haven't reached out to Italian Americans either.
Right.
Okay, it's a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant ceremony.
Yes.
Okay, does anybody have any other items that they wanted to bring up? Any news or updates on anything?
Yeah.
Yes, Robert, go ahead.
Andre, I noticed this morning on NBC, they are celebrating Arab American Month. Did you ever hear them say anything about Italian American Month?
Yeah, the only time that we've seen it is on CBS when it is October. They do have a 10-second slide that they put up, and they do that both for Italian American Heritage Month and also Native American Heritage Month. But CBS is the only network that I've seen do anything about it. The
Well,
others,
this was NBC.
okay, but and yeah, well, NBC, they didn't do it for Italian Americans or Native
No.
Americans. Anybody else have anything? Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, so with regard to the 250th celebration, maybe we can draft something together, NAGA in one voice, and maybe just put together a couple of reasons why we think we should be a part of the celebration, because I know we have several Italian individuals that signed the Declaration of Independence, from what I remember. I mean, if you want to go into Native American contributions, there's going to be many of them. One off the top of my head, after watching a documentary several weeks ago, they were one of the reasons why we actually won World War II, the Navajo Code Talkers.
Right.
There's a whole list of things you can do. So I think if we kind of put our heads together and write a nice little summary of contributions, maybe they will try to add something in the celebration, because we're a big part of the country, and I think we should at least be a part of a portion of that celebration.
Good suggestion. And actually, perhaps we'll write the letter and we'll have all the organizations sign it as so it's coming from all the Italian American organizations, as well as from NAGA. I think that would be more powerful, and I think that that's a great idea. Tony Santarelli.
Yeah, somebody was responsible, I guess, through Trump to get the Columbus statue put near the White House.
Yeah,
Yes.
Basil Russo.
Yep.
Yeah, why couldn't he then? Trump is the one who supported Columbus Day. Why couldn't we get to him and see if he would include us in the celebration?
Sure. No, we can definitely reach out to Basil. That was done through the Conference of Presidents of major Italian American organizations.
Huge.
Belong to.
Huge success. Huge.
Yeah. Yep.
Andre, to Frank's just said something. How about symbolism? What's the July 250th anniversary of the what? The Declaration of Independence. And what was the big deal about that? Signatures. Wouldn't it be interesting to create a re-signing of the Declaration of Independence by all the different groups, all the different nationalities, all the different people that have made up America, that makes us all proud to be Americans? You would have the Armenians, you'd have the Irish, you'd have the Italians, you'd have the Native Americans, you have the Polish, you have the Portuguese, you have every ethnic group, Germans that you can imagine, all signing that Declaration of Independence, because we are all proud Americans.
That'd be a good symbolic thing. I think we need a very large piece of paper, but it sounds
Well,
like.
that's the hell. Big one.
But I think
Maybe
that's
on the
a
wrong page.
I think
good-
that's the
good
answer.
symbolism.
That's it.
Good symbolism. I like that. Anybody else? All right. Well, we're doing really well tonight. We're ending off early. Unfortunately, Becky, of course, had to leave, but we appreciate, David, you staying on and keeping us connected with the information on NAGA. I do want to mention that, as Congressman Rulli, if you recall, Congressman Rulli had put up the I guess it was a bill or in committee that if any state did not honor Columbus Day, that they should not receive federal funding. And so I personally wrote a letter to Congressman Rulli on our behalf, thanking him for that. I don't know if Daniel knows where that stands right now, but if Daniel, do you know where that stands right now, that bill?
That bill was introduced. In fact, I was the one who helped draft that bill.
All
So
right.
I appreciate the support. When it comes to where it will be at or where it's at this moment, I can tell you that there hasn't been much movement in the slightest. We're still having conversations about it, but especially with America 250 coming up and a few other national holidays, we are interested in seeing what else we can get the administration to really push next year and beyond. But that is on our mind. I can assure you of that. I will re-up it again to the congressman.
Okay, and Daniel, please, as we did with Senate Bill 3279, which was to eliminate Columbus from any mention, we did a writing campaign to all of our representatives and senators and so forth. So if there's anything that we could do collectively to support Congressman Rulli in his support of our heritage, certainly let us know, and we will muster not only the Italian Americans, but we even have NAGA representatives that supported our position in a number of issues. In fact, Daniel, just to let you know, I have an official letter from NAGA, the co-founder, Eunice Davidson, whereby their position is to maintain Columbus Day and celebrate, Native Americans on a separate day. And I've used that in a number of schools and towns to stop the vote to get rid of Columbus Day. So certainly we want to be a resource for the congressman or for you, anything that we can do to support those positions.
Yeah, send them their united letter for sure, Andre, that we drafted years ago with Unison.
Sure.
But can I ask Daniel a question for Representative Ruley? Is that what I don't understand, Daniel? I think you should really talk about this, and it has to do with like sanctuary cities, etc. There's a supremacy clause in the Constitution, and I do not understand why nobody's pushing that. So what you should be fighting for is that no state or city has the right to take away holiday names of any kind because they don't have the power. It's a federal holiday, and the supremacy clause should be used in fighting for this purpose, that nobody has the right to change these holidays, whether it's Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Christopher Columbus Day, etc. I think this is one of the things I don't understand why nobody's using that as a legal leverage to really just support the Constitution. The supremacy clause is what we should be using.
I
Daniel.
appreciate that perspective. When it comes to the legality of it all, this is something that I will certainly talk to the boss about, as
Yeah,
well
please
as
do.
our staffers, just potentially on messaging grounds. But I as a someone who is not a lawyer, I can't comment on that. However, I see the argument and I see the point completely. This is something that we've heard also at the federal level here and there, as in these are how do I want to put this? This is an argument that we've heard before coming from our staffers from representatives' offices. So it's not something crazy.
It isn't. It's right on.
Yep.
And also, Daniel, just the point that I mentioned before is that our legal study group put together the case law regarding the fact that Italian Americans are a recognizable group under the 14th Amendment. And we have a legal brief on that. If that would support anything that you need, I'd be happy to share the legal brief that we have that Frank Lorenzo put together with the legal study group, because we have cases in there that support the fact that Italian Americans are a recognized group under the 14th Amendment. So therefore, switching the holiday away for another group is discrimination on its face.
Right. I'm going to re-elevate this to my boss. To be completely blunt, we've been really focused on FISA as well as a few other bills that we're introducing. But I promise you, I will re-elevate this. And we have a we have a recess week coming up. So sometimes that gives us some time to kind of take a step back and take a look at everything that we've done and go from there. So I appreciate the re-up. Thank you.
Yeah, no, and Daniel, we might feel like we're kind of pounding on you, but we think it's really great what Congressman Ruley did, and we want you to fully understand that we're supportive of him, and we're all fans of his here.
No, I don't see it like that at all. I actually see it as it confirms that he is trying to do a good job and trying to get things done, in this regard for Italian Americans as much as possible. I'm serious when I say this. We work with the embassy regularly on making sure that the relationships between our two countries are strong, as well as on the legislative side in small ways like this. We are supportive of Thomas Swazi's museum bill. And, there are other things as well that we are thinking of for down the road. In fact, education is a huge one. If you guys have other ideas or thoughts on how we can strengthen the partnerships between the Italians and the Americans when it comes to not necessarily information sharing, but exchange programs and the like, we would be open to ideas as we sit on education and workforce, and that is top of mind for the congressman. So I don't see it as berating at all. I just see it as more stuff for us to do, and we're excited about it. So thank you.
Great. And as you can see here, we're fostering, unity among two different groups, Italian Americans and Native Americans. And,
yes.
And that's really what this country should be about. This is a great quilt of fabric of all different heritages. And instead of fighting or putting one group against the other, let's work together.
I love it.
That's why we're Americans. And listened to Mr. Rulli speak in New York. He did a wonderful job. He was inspiring because I was happy to hear an Italian representative say that he wanted to revive the Italian caucus in Congress, which has been basically missing in action. So I'm glad that he's revived that and continue to support him. We want that visibility, and we've lost it. So he's doing the good fight.
I appreciate it. I will relay that to him. Thank you. Thank you all for their support.
Great. And thank you, Dr. Mary, for inviting him on. That was great.
Glad he could make it. We're definitely there to support you, Daniel.
Please. And maybe the last thing I'll say, do you have my email, Mary?
I do not.
I'll share it with you. No problem.
Okay. Yeah, you have it. That's great. I just wanted to make sure someone had it. If anyone else needed it, please feel free to share it. And I work very closely on the Italian issue, which is why I'm here, and all things foreign affairs. So please, please, please keep us in the loop.
All right. I got to ask you, with the last name that you have, what's your heritage?
Well, my mom is from, well, maybe I'll start with my dad. My dad is from Chile. He was born there. He came to the United States when he was 7 years old. And the name Fuenzalida comes from Spain. There's a small city in Spain called Fuenzalida. But my entire mom's side of the family, on my grandma's side, all from Italy. We are from Montedoro, I believe, in Sicily down south. So I have yet to go. I'm looking forward to one day getting there with my wife. It is the plan. But I'm from Brooklyn, New York. This issue is really passionate. It's really important to me, and I've lived in the culture for a long time. So I'm very, very, very grateful.
Great. Well, we appreciate that, and thank you. I think Vicky had your hand up. Did we lose Vicky? Okay. Anybody else have any other comments, questions, updates? All right. If not, I want to thank
Andre,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, you're back. Okay.
No, I got disconnected because I was trying to find the little hand, and I can never find the little hand.
No problem.
I just wanted to mention, if you were looking for a project in 1992, which was a very long time ago, cable network was just starting, and Jersey City Cable approached me and asked me to do something for them. And I wrote and directed and put together In the Footsteps of Columbus. It was the history, but it was Jersey City based. But there was a lot of universal history then, because, of course, most of the Italians that came in the 1600s, we went back that far, actually started in the Hudson area. So it's still floating around. I mean, they played it on Columbus Day for about 35 years until, I guess, one of the big companies bought them. But you might want to consider a project like that. You could make it part of the curriculum. You could send it out to a lot of different people. It could be played on all kinds of stations. And most of the research is done. I have a copy of the one I did. You wouldn't want that because that's just Jersey City oriented, but it does have a lot of actual facts that do apply universally to Italians. But you might want to just consider something like that. 250 years of, Italian accomplishments. And that's what we did. And we started with the first Italian that came over here. And we talked a lot about the different things and their contributions in the war and whatever. So you might want to consider something like that.
Okay, Vicky, great. Thank you. David, your hand is up.
Yes, this is for Daniel. If you could give me your contact information, I can pass it on to our board, so maybe we can get in touch with you about some Native American stuff.
I'd be happy to do that. I don't know the best way is. I think it's your email down there, DFW.
Daniel, no problem. I can send it to David. I'll send your email to him.
That'd be perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody have anything else? All right, thank you everybody for being on our April Solidarity session. Look forward to seeing everybody next month. Enjoy the crazy weather that we've been having, at least on the East Coast. They say we're gonna have torrential rain and cold weather again coming up. So stay warm, even though it's the end of April. And hopefully we'll see everybody on the next call. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Take care.
Great.
Good night, Andre. Good night.